hope you're doing just great. But if not, worry not. You are with Denise now, which is me, myself. Nice to be here. Nice to be here back making videos. I've been away for almost 2 months, and I miss having this little space to be creative, to chit chat, to connect, to get your opinions. And I had another plan for today's video. I was going to read from this book. But I just saw a video on YouTube and I changed my mind. I want to talk about, what's happening lately here with me in my life. I don't know, maybe the only trigger of this video is going to be the whisper. And I hope that's relaxing, that's soothing, that's okay for whatever you come here to get, like relaxation, or maybe connect with this strange little person. I am short. This strange short person from Brazil. I am 1.50 meter tall. We use meters. I don't know to do to exchange to what you guys mostly use in countries that speak English. So this is going to be a life update, I guess. And the book, I will do the book the other day. It's about, I have three, not one, not two, but three texts that I wrote, a piece of writings of mine that I wrote for the book. It's a book on feminine writing, authors that are women, and I applied my texts for them, my writings, and it got selected. Got three texts selected, and they were printed in this book. One of them, it's like got a differentiation, I'll talk about the book when the video about the book comes, okay? Just talking because it's part of myself, I consider mostly myself a writer. I want to write and be a writer, fiction writer. I don't know if I'm any good, but as much as my existence continues to unfold, other experience world. It worked for a while, and but it's like, I work in order to make my life possible in terms of surviving, to pay my bills, like having a home, yeah, to pay for housing, to pay for electricity, pay for food, pay for the food and care for my pets. I have two, not one, but two cats, female and male, and I have a female stray dog, beautiful. My cats also, they are just the cutest thing. And we are a family of four. And the thing is, I used to rely. I worked jobs. I thought I had an adult life, but I always did relied on my parents for emotional support and financial support also. And they were very protective. I grew up, I had an upbringing that was super overprotected, and I didn't got into the type that rebels from that, but I just let that happen. I let that happen, and we were very attached. We used to talk daily, multiple times. Different from other families, other friends with their parents that I used to, at each time of my phases in life, like to when I used to compare, like, oh, you don't talk to your mother or your father every day, and I then thought to myself, that's so strange. I talk to my father or my mother like twice a day, and I used to live. I went out of home by the age of 22 to live in another city, and here in Brazil, it's not like in other countries that you get 18 and you have to go and have your own home and make your life neighborhood called Tucuruvi. 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 It means cricket, the insect, that is, I think it's called cricket, an insect that is green and makes a sound. Well, it means that in a native language, Tupi Guarani, which is an indigenous language. It means Tucuruvi. I guess there were a lot of crickets here, and the noise was, this place was well known about the noise. Maybe that's what I think, because of the name Tucuruvi. Because I'm very curious, and of course I know this a long time ago because I went and researched what Tucuruvi means. It's not like a word in Portuguese. It comes from Tupi Guarani, this indigenous language. So I live in São Paulo, and I had moved to Brasilia, and I had to talk to my parents every day, because I was so reliant on them. So emotionally, and when I needed, or when I could help and they needed, I would help. There was a time in which I was the one helping them. And when I work in Brasilia, in the press office, governmental press office for the Brazilian Tourist Board that promotes Brazil overseas as a destination, touristic destination. And well, the thing is, I lived there with another girl in an apartment, and I don't know, maybe she talked to her mother once a week or once each 15 days, and that was so strange for me. And then I started just to notice how different families were, and I'm not saying that one is good and the other one is bad. That has nothing to do about that. It's just different, and each way can make you, depending on yourself also and other factors, can give your life an outcome. In my case, it brought me this outcome that it's like I'm very imaginative. I have a lot of ideas, I'm creatively like bubbling, and I'm towards to be more artistic than other thing. I don't, because I think I was super protected. I used to create worlds in my head, or versions of me, as a way to escape all the protection, all the, especially during my teens, when you want to go out and do stuff with your friends and start to discover your sexuality and all that. And they were, no, you're not going out. And then I was just to went to my bedroom and cried. Listening to Aerosmith. I was crying when I met you. Now I'm dying to forget you. Something like that. But why am I even bringing this to the table? Gosh. Yeah, very creative. immediately, not going to go into the details, but I immediately put myself to take care of her. And during the time that I took care of her, and I know this may sound very crazy for a lot of people, why I didn't pursue a job or go also take care of my life, if I find help to take care of my mother, but go on and take care of my life. I still don't know how to answer this question. I still don't know why. I just every day continuously made the choice of take care of her, and that happened for 6 months. And oh my gosh, no, 6 years. 6 years, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5. 6 years. And during that time, my father got ill in the 4th year, and he passed away so quickly, so quickly. He had blood cancer, and it was like took him 3 months to go away, and I took care of him also. He died at home. And then there was me and my mother and our dog, the family dog that had by that time like 11 or 12 years. Then our dog got ill from a kind of cancer. He made a surgery, and then he got hit by a car when he was for a walk, not with me, with one of my mother's caretakers that I had to help. And all that structure was paid by money of my father's, then my mother's, and for pension from. I didn't have an income for myself, and I should had prepared. I knew I had to prepare, but I thought like, oh, I'm going to write a book. That book is going to go well, and I will make money. What a plan! What a plan! I started to write that book, but then it didn't went far. I had like 5 chapters and then stopped. And since then, I write, and then I just have times that I am not writing, and I write and go back with the idea of the book, and then it's on and off, and it would be a book talking about social things like life, nowadays life, a story a lot like inspired in myself, but like auto-fictional, something like that. Well, but I don't have that book written. I hope to, and I can talk about that also more if you want to. Maybe when I make the video about on reading this book with my writings, 'cause, 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 euthanasia. It was impossible for his life to continue as he was feeling a lot of pain. After getting hit by a car, it was impossible to have a surgery because of his age. So we put him to sleep. I put him to sleep. And that happened, believe it or not, on the day of my father's anniversary, if he was alive, on a 11 the 11th day of November 2021. And my mother passed away on February 2022 from COVID, which is super sad. From COVID, I myself have issues with that. She was away, like she was missing one vaccine, and I was the one to take her to get the vaccine, but then I arranged it differently for people coming to our home to give her the vaccine, so we didn't need to go out. She had difficulties with mobility, so, but it was too late. They didn't arrive. Well, she passed away before she could take the third injection, and that it was what it was. And after that, I've been like struggling with how to live. Yeah, I can get a work. I could get a work on my doing with my major, but journalism has really transformed with the internet. It's not that I don't have the interest anymore to go and work in a newspaper, and it's not like that I'm in a position to choose, but I didn't went looking after jobs there in this area. There was when it appeared the UX writing thing, and I did that for 11 months after my mom passed away. But then things happened there. I resigned and said I was getting well paid, and then I said I'm just gonna make my project on writing, and it's going to be fine. I will have supporters. I will do something on the internet, and it will go well. But nothing of that happened, and a lot because I myself didn't put the effort in making that happen on the internet for many reasons. I'm still am confused and going towards different projects that I want, and then I show my writing to someone that says this and that, and then I think, oh, it's not that good. Oh, I wrote a short story. If any of you wants lost a friend in a very bad circumstance, and things got a little bit dark. I got depression. I deal with depression. For a long time. I have like medical assistants, psychiatrists. At the moment, I'm not doing psychotherapy because I'm short on money. But I did psychotherapy for a long time. But I have my psychiatrist. I take some meds that help me a lot. So I'm in this, like this ride. I started even this channel as a rent channel, like to vent on my financial difficulties. And then I came back to ASMR because I used to have a ASMR channel in Portuguese that I had it for like in 2018 and 2019. I can also link that on here down below if you want to check it out. But it was very like a political directed. I like that idea of it because it was like political. It's a thing that doesn't put you to sleep, right? But then it was made in an ASMR way. So I like it to test that, and then I got a bit and then my dad got sick, and I started to get also not willing to deal with a lot of political themes all the time, and then I stopped doing that. And then when I came back to YouTube now, I came back in this channel that is old because it started with videos that are not public now on the book that I was doing. I was reading the chapters, the one that I said that I had like 5 chapters. I was reading the chapters I had, so there were videos like audio. It was a still image and then the audio of me reading each chapter. I was like writing and also sharing almost at the same time. And well, but I didn't continue, so I took the videos out of, it's not public anymore, and I came back to this very channel and started it back, like ranting about my situation. I didn't get views, and one day I decided to do a silent vlog, and I got some people to watch that, and then I said, well, I enjoy ASMR, I listen to ASMR, I'm gonna test and see how doing ASMR goes and see what kind of channel it can be if in the realm of ASMR. And here we are. This is what I've done so far, and I started really got getting views and people getting to subscribe after it turned to ASMR, which I like. It's fine. But you see, now I am here whispering, but it's mostly a rant. And exchange money for, my other abilities that are not my high skills. And then I decided to do Uber, like super, super, very anti-capitalist decision. I know, like, why drive for a super big, a tech company that one of the, tech companies like pretty much rule the world nowadays, and there I am working for a tech company for low pays, and well, I'm not selling my writings for capitalism. I know I have my contradictions, I know, and I'm working on them. Well, and then I was recently in a job that I told about it in not my last video, but the one before my last. And it was like a customer attendant. I was a customer attendant for WhatsApp, and I didn't go. I couldn't do it, and I resigned. I resigned because I couldn't do it. It was too much. I had to attend like 6 customers at the same time, and I didn't know how to use all the systems. I told in the video, not the last one, but the one before that one, that I was scared about the work because it was like I had to deal with too much customers at one time, and there was a lot of systems that the company uses, and in order to do what the customer wants, whatever thing he asks, you have to deal with like at least 3 different systems at least. And if you are doing 6 clients at the same time, like 6, you multiply that for 3, and I just couldn't do it. I was getting like anxiety crisis, and I was not being able to sleep well, and I started taking more meds for sleep, and I couldn't do it, and so I resigned. It's been like, when did I resign? I guess it was last Wednesday. Today is Monday. Today is Monday, the 5th of April. So I resigned, not the 5th today. I'm sorry. Today is Monday. The 7th of April. Forgive me. But I resigned on Wednesday, and I already made arrangements to get another job, which is go back to the crystal shop where I used to work, and which I didn't tell you quite well what happened. Why did I stop working there? But yeah, I just thought that I would make more money making Uber than at the shop. Yeah, I told that in the video, not the last, but the one before that. And then I resigned to do Uber, and then I was doing Uber, and a very close friend offered me this job at the client, to be a client attendant at the company that she works. And at first it looks super okay, not doing Uber because I thought that I would be, like, for the money that I was going to get paid, I was going to work a certain amount of hours. I would be maybe tired and didn't want to go to Uber, so I thought I can rent my car for another Uber driver. And that's what I did with my car. So my car now is actually rented for a woman that drives and it does Uber. So that's my current situation. Today is Monday and I'm going to the crystal shop on Wednesday to work. It's going to be a test for me to see if I get well adjusted again back there, because now the working hours are different. We are working 12 hours straight, like from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. and then do not work on the other day and then work again on the other day, like work 12 hours, rest on the other day, work 12 hours, rest, and keep going. So they're going, and I think that it's good to test if I'm going to get adjusted to this flow of working, but I really want to get adjusted because I really want to feel a kind of safety again, because it's a contract under the Brazilian laws of work that have some benefits and that are important for me. It doesn't pay that much now, but with the rent of the car and then some other incomes that I do have, and I can talk about in another video, because my parents, they left two properties. I could live in one of them, but these places have too much story, so they are rented. I don't receive much because they are not properties, like in great neighborhoods, and they're not big. One is an apartment, 2 rooms. The other one is just a studio in a not so good region of São Paulo that people are afraid of violence and that kind of stuff. It's in the central region, and I get a little money from these 2 rents, and that's with these incomes is how I live. But I feel now unsafe and uneased, and I don't know if I don't remember if I said in the beginning why I decided to change the subject of the video, and thank you that are listening to me until now. Because there's a guy that I discovered recently on YouTube, and he's in a journey of, he lived in his van, and then he needed to sell the van, and he was in a friend's apartment and needed to find a job to be able to move to some place of his, because his friend was going to give back the apartment it was because I decided to get off the crystal shop to go work at my friend's not her company, but where she works for, and I thought it would be great that I would adjust, and I did not. In the process, I rent my car, the car that I used to do Uber, which is kind of good because I receive weekly, and now I'm in the verge of going back to the crystal shop, and if I adapt to the 12-hour regime, I can get contracted again. But you know, I have to be very responsible because I don't want to be contracted again, and then like in some months say, oh, I'm going away again. You know, I don't want to do that to the people there. They are really nice, good people. But I do want to feel safe. I want to have a contract. I want to be employed. And that's it for now. I had another job opportunity maybe, but I think I didn't got the job I talked about in the video I mentioned. I don't think I'm in the, I am one of the options. No, I didn't hear back, but I asked the lady from the kind of HR, the recruiter, and she didn't even visualize my messages, which was odd because she is pretty fast normally. But then I thought, oh my god, I'm not running anymore. Well, that's it. I talked a lot in this video. I hope you got tingles. I hope the whispers paid off all this time, and thank you so much if you got until here. Thank you anyways. I cherish you. I cherish you. I cherish you. And let's do life. I'm trying to, at the age of 45, I'm 45 years old. Yeah. I'm trying to be an adult. I was supposed to be an adult for a long time by now, right? But I haven't figured it out yet. But I'm still trying. One day after the other. One day at